Today we're going to talk about the 5 layers of Yikang transform. Okay. So let me explain why do we need the 5 layers. According to what I understand, it is very difficult to understand the Wing Chun 1850 if we do not split up or categorize different categories of the items so that we can understand each one of them. Okay. So as we know, the 5 layers is the physical body layer, the mind layer, the breathing layer, the chi layer, and the force factor, momentum, and the Wing Chun strategy layer. Okay. So the physical layer, the mind layer, the breathing layer, the chi layer, all are supporting the 5th layer, which is the force vectors, momentum, and Wing Chun strategy layer. If we don't have that, the 5th layer, that means it's no longer martial arts. Okay. So let's go through each layers very briefly, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the first thing about what we're talking about, the first thing is the physical layer. Okay. So physical layer is this body, this physical stuff. Okay. And physical layer, one thing which is the key is the joints. Okay, or we call the bowls. Okay, like the arrow and bowls is the joints. You have 1 joint, 2 joints, 3 joints, 4, 5, 6 joints. Okay. And of course, if you want to count this, the fingers joint is even more than that. Okay. Now let's concentrate on the 6th joint, where normally where we call the 6th power, the 6th joint. Okay. So all these 6 joint has to be aligned properly. Otherwise, our body gets jammed in one way, stuck in the other way. Okay. And to understand these 6 joints, we need to go through 2 kinds of state to understand it, for understanding better. One is the static state. Right. For example, I'm standing here. There's the static state. Okay. How my body should align so that it's natural. All my bones, all the joints are naturally parking there, instead of we stress or tense up in some way. Okay. And another thing is the dynamic state. So the next state is the dynamic state. For example, is for this drill, I call it the ceiling tile transform. This hand swing drills. Okay. This is a very basic example of dynamic. Okay. So in physical layer, we want to deal with how the joints and the body alignment, or you call it structure and so forth, get into a natural state in terms of the static and in the dynamic state. Okay. So let's since we know the 6th bowl already, let's talk about how, if we want to do it very briefly, how do we want to, how can we do or make the static states in the natural state. Okay. Now, there's 3 key points in this in the static state. Okay, for the physical layer. One is the knee. Okay. Now, the knee, if we put it too low, bend it for too low, we feel like we are dropping to the ground, and we'll feel that very heavy to the ground. Okay. That's one step. If we just straighten the whole knee together, like there's no bending at all, we will feel that it's like our feet is very lightweighted, but the whole weight is on the chest area, and the chest is popped out like that. Okay. So there's this is the effect of the straight knee. And the natural knee actually is bending slightly, okay, slightly just the knee slightly bent instead of like this or like that, and I accelerate a little bit instead of this or this. It's a slightly, this is barely slightly bent. And at the time, if you do it that way, you produce like a feeling of really balance and lightweight, which I call levitate feeling. Okay, it's not going down like very heavy down, or the top heavy, bottom is lightweight. Okay, but it's very neutral and very natural. Okay, now there's the knee. The knee controls this. Okay, now the second thing is this Mingmen area here behind your navel. If you put a navel, you put a straight line behind that, this area. This area, if you have relaxed a little bit, not dusting, okay, just slightly, like when you want to take out your pants, okay, if you don't know the feeling, like take out the pants, okay, so slightly bend like that. If you do that, you feel that the tailbone will lift up, tug up a little bit, and the breathing automatically will become this part really, really relaxed. Okay, and you don't have to do anything, and it's coming down, and you just feel the stomach is loose. Okay, instead of you have to force it or tense different part of the lower abdomen, not just losing up. Okay. Now the third thing is the back of your neck. Okay, your neck is like looking something about depending, say 45, 60 degrees, just to make sure that it is not like that or it's not like that. Okay, so this neck is instead of it's kind of flat here. Okay, so it's like this is the natural state for me. For you, probably you have to adjust. Okay, so if you take care 1, 2, 3, your body will be in a very natural state where you can move any part of your body in a very lightweight feeling with ease. Okay, if any part of this body feel that it is tense up or jamming, that means it is not in proper. It's not in the natural state. Okay, or in the not natural state. Now, let me define one thing for you, which means loose. Normally people say loose. Okay, what does it mean by loose? Loose means between two joints, like there's air gap between two joints. Okay, so you're not compress your joint. Okay, now, so when you stand it like this in the what I call the static state, natural static state. Okay, your bones, meaning your joints from ankle, knee, hip, okay, shoulder, and your elbow and your wrist, all is in a loose manner, in a loose state. Okay, meaning they are like it's not weightless, but it's very natural, very with ease. That's why I call this like a levitate. Okay, so front view is like this, side view is like this. It's not this. If you do this, it means that you accelerate certain part of the body. So you're not accelerating. You just let things fall into its place. Okay, maybe you need some practice, but this is what you need to do for handling the physical layer in the static mode. Okay, now the second thing we want to talk about is the dynamic mode. Okay, so we talk about using this hand swing, okay, to feel the natural state of the dynamic mode. But if we cannot do it, okay, prior that if you cannot do it, then what we need to do? We need to do this very slowly as a intermediate state, meaning that you raise your hand up and slowly you drop a little bit down, bend your knee, going up and down. Okay. So while you're doing this, you're feeling all of your six bones. They have to go in a very smooth way, meaning that every joint is depend on the other joints. None of them are jammed up or using force more than the other. Okay, so the body will tell you, and this is the thing which is you do for intermediate before you can do the swing. Okay, And the notion is to understand your body, because our mind do not know our body until you put awareness on that. And while you're doing this dynamically, you put awareness on different parts of the body. Okay? And of course, when you're standing like this, you also put awareness on your body. Okay? It's just different kind of awareness under different state. Now let's talk about this ceiling towel. This I call the ceiling towel transform drill. How to do it properly is about solder white. This legs, separate by solder white, and then just raise your hand up to the shoulder level, not too high. Okay, over here, and you drop it. Okay, once you drop it, you let it come up again, and your job is just to maintain, put the minimum force to maintain the swing like this. And at that time, feel your sixth bowl. Okay, all the six bowl, you feel how it is. Okay, so you put awareness on it and you know it. And you do it, inhale, let it exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, and very smoothly, very naturally. And at number 4 time, okay, which means 1, 2, 3, 4. At the 4th time, you do this 2 and 2. Okay, you drop it down 2. Okay, a little bit. Remember, you do not want to have the knee overextended beyond your toes there, because that can stress your knee. Okay, so what we want to do is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. Okay, and if you really do it, that means that you don't say, you don't talk like me do. Just put your tongue on top of your roof, close your mouth, and then slowly inhales, exhale, inhale, exhale, and at number 4, after the 4 times of this, you're doing this twice. Okay, and so okay, well, what does that do? That do for you? Meaning that this is actually this dynamic have 2 sets. Okay, this drill have 2 states. One is when the full body swing in a more gentle and mild state, even though it is a dynamic. Okay, and then the 5th time when you use your leg, then the motion become bigger. Okay, and each of them have the reason behind it. But this is just a drill. Okay, so I want to show you one more time, how to do this drill. Okay, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. At the 4th time, the 5th is, okay, same thing, hand down, exhale, come up, inhale, okay, but must not forcing your breathing. It has to be, really naturally, and your hand swing also, okay, and never ever swing this hand more than your eyes, because that according to Chinese medicines and so forth, if you have a high blood pressure issue or anything, you don't want to get your hand up, okay, because that raises your chi up, okay, and this is a medical thing, in Chinese medicine is well known for that. So people who practice internal art don't do those kind of stuff. Okay, you be very careful for that. Okay, so you can swing like this. Okay, and then let the everything regulate itself. Okay, so that is the physical layer. Okay, now the second layer, let's talk about the mind layer. Okay, before that, we want to talk about one thing. Why do we want to do physical layer before the mind layer? Because actually, if we do not relax our body, loose our body enough, it's very difficult to get to the mind layer. Very difficult to handle. So in all martial art, in the internal martial art, they do not go to the mind first, even in meditation. If the body cannot loose up, the mind and it's stress here, the mind is very difficult to calm down. So in these 5 layers, in the Yikang Transform, the 5 layers, the first layer, the physical layer, is targeted to relax the whole body or loose up the whole body, make it into the natural state. Okay, Even if you do not know the